It's going to be a little rainy, but it's still a good day for a bike ride. Hi, I'm Bob Swirsel. We're going to ride the 2025 Kitsap Color Classic. Enjoy the ride. Waking up early, I used a combination of biking and light rail to get from Seattle to the start at the ferry terminal in Edmonds. This was the first time in 6 years that I was riding the Kitsap Color Classic, although I had been trying to for the past 3 years. In 2022, I was too exhausted from other activities to do the ride. In 2023, I sprained my ankle the day before doing a Tough Mudder. And in 2024, I got sick. So in 2025, I wasn't about to let something happen to make me miss it. Arriving at Kingston, we biked off the ferry and were officially on the ride. The Kitsap Color Classic is an annual event that Cascade Bicycle Club has been hosting since 1993 that takes riders on loops around the Kitsap Peninsula to enjoy the autumnal scenery. I rode most of the Kitsap Color Classic with my friend Nick. You probably know him by now. Along the ride, I met and chatted with folks, some familiar and some new to me. Always a delight. At the Hansville rest stop, we got some snacks while enjoying views of Point No Point, Admiralty Inlet, and bluffs across the inlet on Whidbey Island. The route took us through the Port Gamble Reservation, which is managed by the Port Gamble Sklallam tribe, which means strong people. They have been living in the region for thousands of years and call this area New Kayet, which means land of the noonday sun.
Oh, you did? Oh, you went over to that? Cool.
Finishing the Hansville loop, we set off on the Poulsbo loop. A word of advice: if you plan to ride both loops in one day, I suggest catching the earliest ferry so that you can make it to the rest stops before they close. There was rain in the forecast later in the day, so we welcomed the sun when it came out. Reaching Port Gamble, the colors of the Kitsap Color Classic really shone brightly through the trees, cyclists, and dahlias. I was nosy and had to take a quick detour onto the Hood Canal Bridge. It is the third longest floating bridge in the world after all, and 4 of the 5 longest are in the Puget Sound region. Our last rest stop was in the town of Poulsbo. As the story goes, In 1886, Ivor Moe petitioned the U.S. Postal Service to establish a post office here. He wanted to name it Poulsbo after his hometown in Norway. However, the Postmaster General misread his letter, and the official name was given the spelling Poulsbo. It stayed like that ever since. Leaving Liberty Bay, the route took us onto the new Sound to Olympics Trail, a trail that will eventually connect the Kingston Ferry Terminal, Bainbridge Island Ferry Terminal, and Hood Canal Bridge. This is part of a larger effort called the Great American Rail Trail, which involves building a 3,700-mile, 6,000 kilometers long route across the country from Washington, D.C. to Washington State. For me personally, it would connect my home with my hometown, which is kind of exciting. I said goodbye to Nick and took a detour off the main route to head into Suquamish. I visited the gravesite of Chief Self, the Duwamish and Suquamish chief for whom the city of Seattle is named. After my sojourn in Suquamish, I rejoined the main route of the Kitsap Color Classic. Back on the ferry at Kingston, I had finished the Kitsap Color Classic. Once the ferry arrived in Edmonds, we all went our separate ways. I was lucky, as it did not start raining until I was back in Seattle, but I had a good ride. That was a lot of fun. I'm glad I got to do the Kitsap Color Classic again after a couple of years. If you want to see more of my content, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next time.